Hey everyone. Alright, so this is just going to be a really quick series I'm going to do for you guys. It's going to be a three-parter, so I'll just upload them over the next few days. But I've been getting a lot of emails from guys or girls asking for stuff that they could use for their boyfriend or their boyfriend wants to know or anything like that. And it's about like how they could do their makeup or products that are great for them. There's a ton of stuff out there, so there's a ton of different things you could use. I know a lot of lines out there lately are marketing certain products for men, and pretty much all that is it's the same product that they market for the women. It's just in a different packaging that's usually like gray or black. They slap a for men sticker on it, and if it has a fragrance, they take it out. And it's pretty much the same thing. All cosmetics are pretty much the same. Some are just a higher quality than others. But the difference between men and women cosmetics, it's pretty much all the same. So don't let that fool you. But with that aside, there's again a lot you can do. So the reason I'm doing this in three parts is this video is going to be about like the basics, how you can make yourself look more awake, refreshed, and use cosmetics without making it look like you have makeup on, and use bare minimum products. I only use three things. And then the second one, I'll touch base on like stuff you can do for the eyes, and I'll get into more of that with that video. And then the third one, I'll go all out and show you how to do like a lot of makeup without looking like makeup, which can come in handy for doing like face shots if you're a performer, if you're in the public eye, anything like that. So just go right ahead and get this one going. And pretty much I'm going to talk about is your skin. That's all you need. The main thing I'm going to talk about is how to make yourself look more awake and refreshed, and how to use products to do that without making it look like you have a lot of stuff on. So I only use three products, like I said, and that is a concealer, a blotting powder, and a lip treatment. The very first thing you would want to do is take your lip treatment, whatever it is. It can be Vaseline, Carmex, chapstick, anything. Some cosmetic lines sell those too. And I would prefer something in a squeeze tube or a pot form, because you really want to slather it on your lips and get like a very thick coating of it, because you want your lips to soak in as much as it possibly can for 10 minutes. Then once that 10 minutes is over, you take a toothbrush and you just lightly scruff off all the dead skin. So it's just going to bring out all that nice, soft, smooth skin, and you're getting rid of the nasty, dead, flaky stuff. Then you just wipe all of that off and then just reapply your lip stuff as you normally would and go about your business. And you can just do it a few times a day if you want to. Doesn't matter. Then, once you have that done, you can move on to concealer. Now, there's a lot that I could say about concealers, but I'll just give you the nitty-gritty basic facts. Pretty much a concealer is there to do just that. It conceals. It'll conceal dark under eye circles or any activity on the skin. Like right now I have a big cluster right here. Any scarring, discoloration, anything like that. And if you don't want to think of this as a cosmetic product, just think of this as a full night's sleep, because it gives you the same effect. So right now I have stuff on this side and not on this side. So you can see in my eye, looks a little darker under here. Like I said, there's activity going on around here with redness, and then like down here, I didn't do anything. I actually have scarring right there. And concealer will take care of all of that. But there are different kinds of concealers with different coverage, different finish, and different undertones. And I'll give you the basics on those as well. When it comes to coverage, anyone, if you go get your makeup done, can tell you about this. So even if you're a guy, you can go up to a cosmetics counter and ask any questions. When someone asks you coverage, they're not asking, oh, well, I want to cover my whole face. Well, we kind of figured that out. Coverage, you can think of like fabric. You have sheer, which is like nylon or lace. You have medium, which is more like cotton. Then you have full, which is more like a heavy twill. So that's a good way to think about it. So depending on how much coverage, it'll depend on what product you get. So if you just have like a little blemish, then you might want something light. If you have very heavy, dark under eye circles, you might want to go a little bit more medium. It's all going to be personal preference. Then with finish, a good way to think about it is like paint finishes. You have like satin, which is just like a satin. It's kind of matte, but it's got a little sheen to it. You have matte, which is flat, doesn't reflect lighting. Then you have like gloss. You would think of that as something more of like a frosty finish, or gloss paint. So you would think of that as a frosty finish when it comes to makeup. And then stuff like that, eggshell or anything like that. But normally cosmetic products for skin come in satin, which is shiny, natural satin, which looks like natural skin with a soft dewy glow to it, matte, and natural matte. So those are pretty much the basics. You normally want to look for something with a natural matte finish, so that way it's not going to reflect lighting, but it'll still look like your actual skin. So those are good things to take into consideration. And then the last thing is undertone. Some have a warm undertone, some have a cool undertone. Now, depending on what cosmetics line you go to, it's going to be different. MAC follows a true artist color wheel with undertones. So a warm undertone is anything with red or orange, and cool is green and yellow. And then most other cosmetics companies switch it and do it backwards. So there's that. Reason I tell you that, I'm just blabbing on, but it's good information. With concealers, I have two different ones right here. And this one has a light coverage and it has a warm undertone. This one has a full coverage and it has a cool undertone. I'm using this one with the warm undertone to conceal dark circles. The red in this will cancel out the blue and make it blend in with the rest of my skin. The green in this one will cancel out the red in the blemishes or activity and make that blend in with my skin. This one will also come in handy for like scarring or anything like that. So I'm just going to take this, put it under my eye because it's got the warm undertone. And then since my scarring has more of a blue undertone because they're darker, I'll apply that on those as well. Then I'll take the one with the cool undertone and I'll apply that on top of any activity on the skin. And you notice I just used my finger. You don't need any fancy tools. Then I'll just take my finger and blend this in. And then a really good trick if you have facial hair, do not apply product where there is facial hair. And if you have a little bit longer stubble, only because the products will actually sit on top of the hair and you can see it sitting there and it looks disgusting. So it's really, really good and important to make sure you get products that actually blend into your skin. So let's say your stubble's right here. You'll see skin peeking through. So you want this skin to match this skin if you're going to put products on it. So you really want to find like a very good match. So that's another reason it's kind of important if you're going to use one for your under eye area and use one for blemishes that you do the different undertones. I'm just going to apply a little bit more. Very quickly. And that's pretty much all you have to do. You can see now this side looks a lot more awake, refreshed. Skin looks a lot healthier. So that's it. Now we can move on to powder. All you need is an invisible setting powder or a blotting powder. And you can think of this like antiperspirant or deodorant. This is going to lock in moisture and keep your skin dry. So just like deodorant does for your pits. So this one is Full Night's Sleep. This is deodorant for your face. Pretty much this is just gonna lock out shine so you don't get shiny, but you can also use this to set the product. Now I'm using a brush to put this on, but if you're on a budget you can always use like a sponge, anything like that. And I'm just using this to set everything, but it's also gonna matte down my skin. So it's taking away all the shine at the same time. And now you can see, that's all I did. And it doesn't look like I have a ton of makeup on. And actually, it doesn't even look like I have any makeup on. So that's all you really have to do. If you wanted to do more, again, you could do the lips. And if you wanted to add like another product into the mix, then you could add like an eye cream. Something with caffeine or silicone, possibly both. Caffeine will reduce puffiness and silicone will fill in fine lines, so if that's something you're worried about. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I gave you a decent amount of information, so you can take that and run with it. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as I can, but stay tuned for the next one, and it'll be up in a few days. So hope this was helpful, and I'll talk to all of you soon. Bye.